Hello and welcome to my third and unfortunately final part of my Brazil adventure. If you've somehow missed part 1 or part 2, I've left a card floating around here which you can go and watch now, and then when you've done that, come back and watch this video. Part 1 was all about visiting the beautiful beaches of Jericoacoara, the very north of Brazil. And part 2 was about visiting Salvador, a very known dangerous place to visit in Brazil, and I documented how I personally experienced it and just generally overall found it. And now in part 3 I visit Rio de Janeiro and I explore the main touristy things that the place has to offer. Now for most of the video I paid to go on a day tour, you know, with a group of people and with a tour guide who leads you around to all different places by coach. And the first destination was driving up the mountains to see the iconic statue of Jesus Christ himself. And he is very high up. On the way, we briefly stopped to overlook the massive favelas that swarm the city here. They just cover the mountains and really just show how crammed in they are, being so close to each other and on top of each other. At times, they can look like a nuisance, but also at times they can just look rather beautiful, all with different vibrant colours. You know, I'm sure a lot of famous photos of Rio that you've probably seen are of favelas. Now there are tours that you can take which takes you into the neighbourhoods of the actual favelas themselves and maybe into the buildings too, I'm not quite sure. But one, I didn't like the idea of this, you know, it can be dangerous, so I didn't really want anything happening to me. And two, you know, I don't think it's a very respectful thing to do, you know, going into these places and documenting with videos and pictures and even, you know, selfies, you know, showing off how run down these places are and showing it off in a very negative way. Like the people that live there are just trying to survive like anyone else. You know, I don't need a tour to experience that. I can imagine it's very tough conditions to live in. We finally made it to the base of Christ the Redeemer. There's tons of coaches full of tourists here and you have a long queue to get in, so really pick your time of day to avoid the people. However, I wasn't prepared for how big the main man is. He really is a big un, and I can understand why it's one of the new 7 wonders of the world. There's a few dozen steps to climb to make it to Jesus personally, but once you make it to the top, you really do become speechless with the views that surround you here. And not just the views of the views, but the views of the amount of people here is crazy, all coming to see the big guy himself. You do feel a sense of, I don't know, power or enlightenment just being amongst his presence. And I mean, even if you're not spiritual, you're an atheist, you know, you can't deny the craftsmanship gone into the statue. He's rather striking, you know, just overlooking the city from above, protecting the people. Welcome to Christ the Redeemer. I have finally made it here and the views are just out of this world. I mean, I've seen pictures, you know, on the internet. It looked good, but actually being here is just ridiculous. You're so high up. I think it's like 710 meters. Doesn't sound like a lot. I don't really know my scales and stuff, but we are high. And I didn't realize the Christ itself would be so big. Yeah, he's a good looking guy out there. I was going to fly the drone here, however I just spoke to one of the staff and they said that there's too many people, there's helicopters flying around. Damn it, don't think I can do it, but would have been some really good pictures and some video footage. But I don't want to get it confiscated or anything like that, so I'm going to respect the law, I guess, around in the park laws. But just getting videos and pictures on this is just good enough. Words cannot describe really just how cool it is up here, and the sun's out as well, which is even better. You can just see so far. You can see other islands, other countries. It's insane. I'll tell you what though, I don't think I've seen so many tourists congregated into one area trying to take pictures. Like, it's literally a battle to the death on trying to get the right shot. You're walking through the crowds, everyone posing, but yeah, it's very hard to get the right kind of shot for, you know, in front of Christ himself. There's so many people, it's ridiculous. They should like let up a certain amount of people here at a time because it's so congested. God, I sound like such a little goody. I would like to come here, I don't know, at night, or I wonder what it would be like to just walk around here with no people around. And when I say you're high up here, I mean you're high up here. You know, there's stunning 360-degree views in all directions. Well, obviously that's what 360-degree means, but I mean, it's really wise seeing all of this when it's sunny just to get the best experience. Just whatever you do, don't stand up on the edge, because if you fall off, you ain't coming back.
And I think that thing over there, I'm pretty sure that's Sugarloaf Mountain, where we are going to be going straight after. That's the one where you can get like a cable car that goes from down here, I'm presuming, and goes up to the top. That should be quite fun and scary for people who suffer from vertigo.
On the way back down, we had to drive through part of a favela neighborhood, and the tour guide pointed out some gunshots in the walls of a building, which is always really nice to see, but I'm guessing it's just a casual thing which happens on a daily basis here. Next up, we visited a football stadium, something I wasn't really bothered about.
Oh my god, it's Pele. What's he doing here? Okay, take a picture of the fake cup. Really don't see the point of that, but there we go.
But the Maracana Stadium is famous for being one of only 2 stadiums in the world for hosting 2 World Cup final matches, in 1950 and 2014. And then most recently it hosted the opening and closing ceremonies for the 2016 Rio Olympics. So yeah, if you like your stadiums, go and visit there. On the drive to our next location, we passed the very famous strip where you must have seen Brazil's famous carnivals happen. I believe this is called a Sambadrome, where people flock here to celebrate, and all the amazing colours and clothing and designs are all put on here. It must be an absolute crazy time to be a part of. It was also part of the ceremony for the Olympics and the end of the marathon. And when I was there, it was a few weeks away from being put on. You know, I could start to see them building things and you know, getting things ready and put into place. So it's pretty cool to see that. Well, or drive past that anyway. We then stopped off at the Metropolitan Cathedral. It's one of the most imposing Catholic monuments in Brazil. The cone-shaped building is 75 meters high, has a capacity of 20,000 people, and is probably known for the multicolored glass on all 4 sides with a glass roof in the shape of a cross. In terms of cathedrals or churches or just anything holy, this must be really pleasant just to sit in here while in service. Yeah, it's all just really rather pretty and the place is just huge inside. You won't spend much time here, however, but it's still nice to see.
We've come to the famous mosaic tiles in Brazil by the artist Jorge Celeron. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Very famous part of Brazil where all these lovely mosaic tiles are created by the artist. You probably get loads of people taking pictures, selfies and that. It's incredibly hard though. It's literally so congested with tourists that you won't really be able to get a picture. I don't know how this is going to happen here. It may be the thing to do, but I don't think I'm really that bothered. Like, great, okay, why is it such a massive selfie picture opportunity? I was told by my tour guides that down here it's fine, but the more you go up, particularly at the top of the stairs, it's dangerous, and you know, drug dealers and stuff all up there. I'm sure it's probably fine during the day, but I mean, it's nice and colourful, but what's the big fascination? I don't know. It's nice though. I mean, I can appreciate how much detail has gone into it, and I don't know how long it took. I'll probably have to Google it. I like that, but I mean, it's just some colourful tiles, really. I think it's a bit more of a hype, really, why people have to come. I don't know, but it's not really my sort of thing. Maybe it's because there's too many people here. If there was no one here, then it'd be quite cool. All the quite colourful arrangements and that, taking, you know, pictures in front of. But with so many around here, it kind of just brings the tone down a little bit, and you're just fighting for a picture, and you don't really get much time. Yeah, it's not really my sort of thing, really.
Next, we drove to Sugarloaf Mountain, a very popular attraction, which is just a mountain, really. You can only access it by taking 2 cable cars.
So we're just about to go up in the cable car to Sugarloaf Mountain. Quite scared, but also quite excited at the same time, because it's quite steep, quite high that you go up, and if it breaks, you die. So let's find. It's going to be fine. It's gonna be fine. What am I talking about?
These always weird me out, as it's just a box on a wire, really.
This is it. Don't get scared now. Home Alone reference. We're going in.
And we have liftoff. I'm only joking. I don't get scared at things. Just look at my face. But they really do cram loads of people in the cars, which doesn't help when it's rather wobbly. Doesn't matter though, as the higher you go, the better the views become. But you do go at some speeds. Just look as we pass the other car. And then from this angle, you can really start to see how high up you go. And then we made it to the end of the first cable car.
We made it!
From there, it's a very short walk through a mini forest to make it to the second trip of fetching another cable car and travelling even further up. Of course there's more views, but by this point you just want to get to the bloody top already. It may worry some people though getting off of the thing. You can see here just how wobbly it is. It's all part of the fun though, eh? And I finally made it to the top, yeah! Oh, wait. Now you've got to wait and fight for a space so you can get your selfies done in front of the view. But yeah, I can understand why it's popular to come here. Just like Christ the Redeemer, there's ridiculous views here all around, especially overlooking Copacabana Beach.
We literally just don't know where to look around here. There's just views just everywhere you look. It's 360 degrees. Just like even seeing all the fine detail and all the buildings. Beaches in the distance. We've got another beach down there. Got some other like waterfront there of all boats. Mountains, all the clouds in the distance. Christ the Redeemer must be, oh, I don't know, is it that one over there or somewhere here? You can't even see it now, it's covered by clouds. It's just an amazing view up here. And from up here, the sea, it looks like it's like frozen and motionless and all the boats are just like stuck. Just can't stop looking at this place.
Obviously the boats aren't stuck in place, but I think you know what I'm trying to get at. Hopefully you're not bored of views just yet, but as we're here, we might as well give you a full picture of it all, you know, seeing the other part of Brazil, the sea, and then the views on what I've already shown you. Right, that's it, I swear. That is the last of this view. I swear, I swear. Right, that's enough of the views from up here. So there's not really much else to do other than go back down again. And you can really see how much of a slim mountain it is where I just was. And also why there really is no other way of getting up here other than a cable car. There's no pathways, there's no bridges, there's no vehicle access. It's just a mountain in the sea.
Hey, you've joined me on my last day here in Rio, and I'm literally trying to find anything to do just to waste the time until I get my flight, really. It's not really sunny, so I can't go to the beach, and I'm just trying to do anything touristy, really. So instead I've come to the Botanical Gardens. Massive hectares and hectares of land, yeah, different plants and animals and waterfalls and lakes. So I just thought, oh, I'll come here, be at one with nature, have a little stroll and just have some nice peace and quiet while there's a helicopter going over. But it literally feels like, I don't know, I'm in the middle of the jungle and Predator is literally just from the trees looking at me, ready to pounce. I mean, it certainly sounds like it with all the different noises of the... I don't know what that is, an insect, a bird, bug, something. Feels like they're having a little disco to himself. It's very pleasant just having the massive mountains right in the background, and even the huge clouds that are literally eating the mountains. They are so low here. Very picturesque round here. What the hell that is? I had no idea that there was stingless bees. I thought that they all have stingers. Apparently here's some stingless bee colonies. So let's see if we can check any out. Who knows how many are literally inside there. Stingless bees or not, I don't really want to get too close to them. Okay, so although called stingless bees, their stingers are atrophies and they're harmless. They're also known as Indian bees because their products, honey, wax and propolis, have been used by native tribes for centuries. So there we go. Come on bees, wakey wakey wakey. I do not want to bother you bees. I wonder how much honey is inside these as well. I've got to say, I don't think I've ever seen whatever these are before. These kind of, are they fruit? Are they leaves? They look like something else. A very large version of something else, if you know what I mean, but they're a bit peculiar. What the hell are they? Interesting. Interesting.
But yeah, overall, it really is a very calming and relaxing place just to take in the nature and just slow down, really. Loads of different plants and trees and lakes and paths to just lose yourself in, really.
So I just came across some turtles. What do you think? Do you think that these are statues or do you think they're real? They're just down here. Yeah, what do you think they are? Real or fake? Because they are actually real. I thought that they were fake. They were not moving at all. Completely still. But let's go on this guy. Where's his eyes? Oh, there you go, he's breathing. He's real. I thought they were all fake, they're not moving at all. And then I saw some of these guys. Well, they're obviously real. Finally, I finally found some turtles on this trip. They're all just chilling, just hanging out with their homies. What are you staring at, mate?
And then talking of peaceful, like the gardens, on the way back to my hotel, I came across this really quiet and secluded lake. There was no one around, so I just had to walk to the front and just embrace it all in. It was a charming little spot that had lots to see and could even see Mr. Jesus himself where I was at the start of this vlog. I then thought, yeah, it's pretty quiet here, you know, there's no one around, so I'm gonna take the drone out for a spin and get another vantage point. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, more views for you, but just thought it was a nice way to end the vlog on this really pretty and beautiful country. I'll definitely miss it and can't wait to come back, preferably when it's more sunny though. And that's it. That's the end of part 3 and unfortunately the end of my Brazil adventure. I had a great time and had some great experiences, but this was only a few different parts of Brazil. You know, the place is so big with so many different states to explore. I really need to go back and do some more. There's things I've learned that I was unaware to begin with, you know, like language barriers and getting around and the weather of different regions, you know, that was a big one, and you know, just the standard cost of living too. Oh, and also the food, because sometimes the food is good, but then sometimes you're like, hey, how about having some vegetables? It's just beans, rice, noodles, and some random piece of meat, like literally the majority of the time. I'm not knocking it at all, you know, the food is nice, but I just like more of a variety. But if you've watched all 3 of my vlogs and stuck to the end of this one, thanks so much for watching. If you want to catch up on the rest of my holiday destinations, I've been to a lot now, floating around here somewhere. I put up my very amusing traveling playlist. Yeah, I've been to quite a few different countries, and yeah, they're quite quirky. They're quite fun. But yeah, that's it. That's it from this adventure. And until my next adventure, wherever that will be, I guess I will see you then. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye.